Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Seshot's Wisdom. Again, back with some spiritual content. Aside from teaching you universal law and how to use it, how to activate it in your life so that things can turn around for the better for you. I also am here to share some real insight on the spiritual world. Now, a part of living on this plane, since you are the walking gods, you are, then you are allotted by divine right and through grace a certain amount of spiritual protection. Now, when I say spiritual protection, of course I mean the angels, and of course I mean your guides and your ancestors, but also I want to talk about one group that people do not utilize, but this spiritual trio is readily available for help and assistance in regards to karma. Who am I referring to? None other than the Fate. Yes, the Fate, depicted as three women, and it's okay to assume so. I believe that the Fates are depicted in Shakespeare as well, and other forms of poetry, material, and mythical content. But they're not a myth, they are real. Of course, everything is energy, but if enough people believe in manifesting it into an actual being, then it will. And so, yes, they are actual beings. The energy is real with these beings, and they oversee so much in regards to karma. I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, you had somebody work for you, or not actually work for you, but provide you a service, right? Say, for instance, these people said they would fix something on your house. And when they were done with the job, they did not do what they were supposed to. You call the people and you let them know that you weren't happy with the job that was done, or that they did not do a good job, or do what even was agreed upon. Well, then, if they turn around and said, oh, well, whoops, we're keeping your money, we're not giving you a discount, we're not going to help you to fix whatever we messed up, we're just gonna take your money and you're gonna grin and bear it, right? Well, then, the faith are who you can consult so that you do not incur karmatic ramification, right? So this is how you would handle the situation that I just mentioned. What you would do is you would let them know, okay, so you're not going to work on what you did. You're not going to fix the problem. You're not going to refund me my money. Fine. Hang up. Next, you go in your room or wherever you're comfortable to speak freely. And you are going to reach out to the faith. What you do is you say out loud, by divine right and through grace, I petition the fate. And then you go about explaining what happened. So in this scenario, I'll pretend that that person is not necessarily me, but I'll just pretend. And so that person petitioned the fate, the way I said, and it goes a little something like this. By divine right and through grace, I petition the fates. This is what happened. I paid this provider to give me a service. When the service was done, this wasn't right, this was incorrect, this got broken, or this was not what we agreed upon. When I called them to rectify the situation, they told me they weren't going to do anything more about it, and they were just going to take my money. Fate, I ask you, in exchange for not leaving a negative review, I want their karma. I want the karma that equate to my experience or even the amount of money that I spent. I petition the fates to review this instance and to discern and to judge with your assessment, with your discretion as to who is wrong and who is right and who deserves what. But I want their karma in exchange for not leaving a negative review, which could, who knows, result in any ramification. I'm protecting my karma by doing so. So by divine right and through grace, I petition you, the fates. Thank you. And I'm grateful. When you are done doing that affirmation, and again, that was an example, you can put your own spin on it. But what you must do is make sure that you keep the intro, by divine right and through grace, I petition the fates. And when you're done explaining everything, at the end, you say, by divine right and through grace, I request what I ask with your discretion. And I thank you in advance for your decision and graciousness. As long as you make sure you thank them, because that's a part of it. When you are done doing that, you give it time. In manifesting, you can initiate a timeline. But when it comes to the fates, you don't do that. They're not going to be like, oh, I'll get back to you in 2 weeks, whatever. You can request that if you'd like, but the fates are going to take as long as they need to. When I did it for my situation, I didn't request a deadline because the instinct in me thought it'd be inappropriate, because the fates are very powerful beings, and I don't tell them when I want them to be done making a decision. So, you know, it's whatever you feel to do. Me personally, I would not put any kind of deadline. That's my opinion. And so, with that said, you wait. Now, I'm going to tell you this. How the fates act is they look at all angles, up, down, left, right, back, forth, diagonal, every angle of the situation to assess whether or not refunding you your money or giving you the karma, meaning you would see something happen in your life. It's not just something invisible that you don't get. No, when you're asking for the karma, the fates return the karma in a form on this plane for you to benefit from. So just to be clear, you're not just talking in air. What you will see is if the fates deemed it worthy for you to be compensated, you will get that money back either by actual cash or by a big favor done that would equate to that amount. And so that's how it works. And I will tell you this, more often than not, it absolutely works like a charm. And also more often than not, the fates grant you what you wish, because nobody is questioning, well, I wouldn't say question, nobody is petitioning them. Nobody is talking to them. And they also can see through your heart. And so they will compensate you if you are deserving of it. If not, if you are in the wrong, because let's face it, not every customer is right. Some customers are irrational. All right? If the fates deem that you're not being rational, they will not grant you what you want. But they will make sure that your karma is not pinched. This is Seshas Wisdom, a little insight about the fates. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. See you next time. And thank you so much for allowing me to share Seshas Wisdom. Take care.